Morning, good afternoon, good evening. God bless you. My name is Pastor Yemi Omogboyega. I welcome you to my channel. Kindly subscribe to my channel. Like it by pressing the like button. Share our videos. Press the notification button so that you get to know when we upload new videos. And please follow up with our family devotional series, which is meant to bring you closer to God. God bless you. This afternoon, I want to comment on what is going on in Nigeria, particularly the proposed protest slated for 1st to the 10th of August 2024. And I titled this very message, Good Protest, but Bad Timing. Good protest, but bad timing. There is no doubt at all, that Nigerians are agonizing. In fact, at the level where it is least expected that it could get to. And we must be sincere with ourselves. Things are really bad. Everything had been okay until when people can no longer feed. And you know that when that happens, then an hungry man is an angry man. So the situation now is not a question of I want to build houses, I want to do this, I want to do that. Even it has gotten to a point where you would say that it is no longer a question of I want to pay my children's school fees. People's lives have been so relegated to the point that to eat now becomes a problem. Nobody envisaged that we would get to this level. And Nigerians prayed. If prayer will save a nation, Nigerians had prayed. And thank God that God is a merciful God. If not that He's a merciful God, I don't think Nigeria will still be what it is today. Thanks be to God Almighty, because it cannot be explained. The other day, my wife went to buy pepper at the market. One finger, just one like this, of pepper. We call it bawa or shombo. One finger like this, sold for 100 naira. How many of that will we use to make a soup? I pity all family men today that have children, especially young ones. How many tomatoes? 4 of them, 500 naira. Now it has even come down because it was 1,000 before. Not that they are so big. And at least if you buy 500 naira tomatoes now, you will need like 2 measures like that to be able to, minimum, if you want to manage, to be able to add it to the number of measures of pepper and other condiments that you are going to use. Now, meat is a no-go area. People don't bother now whether there's meat in their food or not. Even pomo, the high skin or whatever that people were using, referring to as the poor man's meat the other time, Today now, it is no longer affordable. That's how sad the situation is. Then transportation. Then every other aspect of life is totally unaffordable. I pray to God Almighty that this tide will change and change for the better. May it not go worse than this. Then everybody will be in trouble. May that not happen. Lord, rescue us. You have, because everything that is happening to man is caused by man. It's not as if I don't understand, Lord, that you have already solved the problem of Nigeria, but that we, the Nigerians, or we Africans, are the cause of our own problems. I will explain that. Take it from the family level. Even as we still speak, in spite of the hardship, still people are still giving birth to uncontrollable number of children that they can take care of. We are talking of the population of Nigeria being 200 and something million people. About 230 million. Speculation, because there is no accurate census conducted yet. Yet, we are still having more children. So the situation we are in does not even speak to us that by now, everybody should go for family planning. I'm not talking of people that had their children by way of maybe they've already had them. I'm talking of even now. When people are giving to 4 or 5 children today, giving birth to them, those people have already signed a contract with poverty, because even to nurture one, with the exception of those who have issues, maybe delay marriage, delay childbirth, or maybe problems that led to them having more than 2 children. But every reasonable person today should say that, should be able to know that even 2 are many, but at least that's excusable. So if you are beginning to have many children, you are one of the contributors to this society's woes. That is, I'm not saying don't have the number of children you want to have, but make sure you have the capacity to take good care of them so that they don't become social miscreants. And again, too, on yourself, do not lament when you are unable to do certain things, basic things of life for yourself, because you are taking care of many children. 3 also, the days have gone that will say, okay, well, God will take care of them. That's an error we make. God is taking care of everything, including us and our children, yes, because He has made the provision for us. But it is for us to lead our children to the point where they can take care of themselves before we disembark from the project of nursing them. But when we bring so many of them that we cannot cater for, don't be surprised if some of them begin to stone you tomorrow, because there's no amount of support you say you render to your children until and unless they are able to start life themselves and fend for themselves. We are still in trouble. That is the truth. Number 2, even we as parents, how much did we take good care of ourselves to the point that we are able to generate adequate funding to make our lives good and prepare a better tomorrow for our children? Many are dropouts from schools. They have no skill and they are rearing children uncontrollably. So we are the cause of the problem. Now we are blamed. Let's look at the government too. Yes, government, successive governments in Nigeria have been very terrible. Very, very terrible. The manifestation of what is happening today is as a result of the corruptions upon corruptions upon corruptions permeated by the older generation. Corruption in offices, corruption in the church of God, whereby you seek refuge. Bible says the house of the Lord is a refuge. The righteous goes in there and is saved. But the church is operating the opposite today. You go there today, you are in bondage. Greater bondage than you brought in. You found that the ministration of salvation is lost. But the ministration for money, the love of money, has taken over the church. And we pray in hypocrisy. We kneel down, we pray. Programs upon programs, amounting to nothing spiritually. And again, turning the destinies of the people away from what God purposed it to be. Now, it is down on us that, the prayers we have prayed, we have been praying amiss. We fail to do what? You see, life is all about discipline. You need to pray. Okay. The book of Romans chapter 12 verse 9 or so, verse 11 or so, says that life is about work and pray. If you are rising up in life and you want to depend upon other people for the rest of your life, you are a problem. God did not order life that way. Somebody will help you to a point, and you become somebody of your own, and then you take off from there. You to be a blessing unto others, including your own family. But when you are unable to gain economic independence, you're going to be a problem to yourself, a problem to other people whom God is also blessing. We all have the same platform. We all started from the same point. Even if we are born in a rich home, at the same time, if you don't know how to tap into being independent economically yourself, that is, generating your own incomes, you will still end up in poverty. All these are preambles. So, the problem is in the hands of the people themselves, and then in the hands of government. If I become the president of Nigeria today, assuming I even have interest in doing that, honestly speaking, I will start from people giving birth to not more than 2 children. Why are we producing children we cannot take care of, and then tomorrow we'll be crying for government to come and do? Government that has no plan, and government that is overwhelmed with population, overpopulation, such that whatever resources that the government has cannot do it. 2, the government that is bereft with corruption, that everybody that gets there wants to enrich their pocket and go. So these are the foundations. Of course, the political parties. Tinubu is the one now bearing the brunt of everything. Let's face it. That's why I titled this protest, good protest, but bad timing. Tinubu has assumed power 1 year, 3 or 4 months ago, and he met an empty treasury. And the treasury itself, the empty treasury is still being further looted. However, he wants to do the best he could. Forget about the other distractions by the other parties, the parties that lost. They are fanning their own, as if they were there, that they would have done better. So, now, the man is trying to do the best he can. Everybody has been blaming him for saying, oh, you should not have pronounced that first subsidy has been removed. You should not. He should not have done it. It's wicked. He's doing that. No, it is the reality. Until you remove I told you about economic independence, until you win your children, you stop supplying them food, until you make them to begin to realize that they will work for themselves, those children will not be independent of you. So, haven't noted that Tinubu came in, and since he came in, the first announcement he made was subsidies. It has been removed anyway. He only pronounced it. And we are saying that it should have been more dynamic. He should have put plans in place. He should have done this. He shouldn't have even said it at all because it's bad news for us. What? You will hear bad news if you don't sow, or you sow the seed that is not good and it doesn't germinate to liberate you for you to feed on. Eventually, hunger will come. Whether he announced it instantly or he announced it later, that's where it will still be is where it is now. And the effect that we are seeing now is an inevitable effect. It is inevitable. Who does not know that even as individuals, if you are living on loan, when you are paying that loan back, you will not be able to afford to do some other things. You will be distracted and you will be growing in pain. It's the same thing. As it is happening in the life of individuals, so it is happening in the life of a nation. A nation that is borrowing or loan dependent. When we are paying back, are we going to pay it with this? A nation that is not producing, is consuming. That's laziness. God says, I will bless all the work of your hands. Abraham worked. Jacob worked. Moses worked. David worked. Everybody worked. But we are not producing. Okay. Unfortunately, we are now bedeviled. Even those who are trying to, in their own little way, especially as farmers. Why do we have food scarcity? Because people are no longer to go to their farms and farm. Those who are going there, they are killing them. Insecurity took over. So that compounded our problems. And we want Tinubu to perform the miracle. Obi cannot perform that miracle. Atiku cannot provide that. Forget about either of them or any other political party trying to say that if they were there, they would do better. They will do worse. That's the truth, because you see, there is natural occurrence. If you violate a natural law, that natural law will take its course. We have been violating natural laws, both at the individual level and governmental level. So we brought ourselves to where we are. And no amount of prayers, you remember I prayed earlier, That prayer will only be answered if you bend down to begin to do what is right. If you are not the one that has the heart to work and gather your money little by little, if you are the type that is miracle conscious, that you go to sleep in the church, if you are the type that has this belief that your brother is rich or your sister is rich, you are going to be feeding on him forever. If you are the type that depends upon the government to say, okay, it is government, it is true. Government policies are affecting us positively or negatively. But if you base your life on the expectation that it is government that will come directly to come and make your life for you while you are living away, where the Bible says, can you live in sin and you say that grace should abide? Good example is the foundation of it is what I told you, indiscriminate procreation, indiscriminate giving birth to the number of children you cannot cater for as parents. You are the one ruining the life of that child or those children. You are the one also ruining the life of the nation. If I become the president of Nigeria, even in my own family, I have been having a crusade. Never do more than your ability can do. Don't be emotional about life. If you are too emotional about life, life will treat you. You see, you are bringing 4 children. You say God will take care of them. Yes, God is taking care of them, but it's you that will help your children. Send them to good schools so that until they become independent, they can stand on their own. If you have 1 million children, you must be accountable for them. If you cannot, and you say there is no employment, there is nothing, no food, nothing, it's your problem. That's the truth. So, let us stop blaming Tinubu. Since he came, one can count a number of things he has done that are in the right direction. Any nation that is not producing will live the type of life that we are living now. How many of the factories are working? The churches did not know that it was this bad until offerings and others are not coming, which they are cajoling people to bring by cursing, by cajoling, by manipulating, by lying to them before. Now it's hitting them. When they said some of our GOs should begin to pay certain monies that they were exempted from in the airport for their private jets, it is then they knew. So, let's leave that. Then, like I said, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done a few things. The student loan thing that he just initiated is a major step. You people that are having children and you cannot even take care of them, and if these children are really brilliant and they can take those loans, they are good to go. Their lives will be better. At least the children will take their own life into their hands. They will now begin to repay their loans. How nice would it have been if everyone had the number of children that they can sponsor into their schools and then they pay their school fees. They don't start life with loan. The various policies that is being rolled out, at least delay or whatever we may say, 1 year is not too much, but at least finally he arrived at minimum wage. The minimum wage itself, how many employers can pay it? We haven't seen anything. How many employers can pay? And unfortunately, the minimum wage itself cannot even afford to feed a family of 2 conveniently. Talk less of saying they want to build houses, they want to own cars, they want to have any form of luxury. No. Just to feed and pay school fees for their children. Now we can see what is going on with Dangote problem, the gas problem now. Wonderful vision. This Dangote refinery would have brought the solution we are looking for, because we all know that 4 refineries in a nation are not working, they killed it because our people would take crude outside, refine it there in their own factory there, and then bring it back to us. They're already enjoying that. And somebody just came from nowhere. And whereas it's a wonderful strategy to really bring that problem to its knees. Not just a question of fuel scarcity. No, 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 no. It's a question of one generation of massive employment for people. Can you imagine how many people that refinery would have employed? We are talking of monopoly, monopoly. Where is the monopoly? Thank God. I listened to Dangote's interview and his representative. I listened to it on it. Very wonderful. We all have a level playing ground. There is no law that says you cannot do what you want to do, but don't monopolize. But if we are all given level playing ground and nobody is going there and I'm going there, have I violated any law? Why are you envying me? If today our 4 refineries are working, they will compete very well with Dangote. And we have some modular whatever that are still producing. So, what's the problem? Quarreling with somebody who has the wherewithal to do it. And he's done it. And the expectation now, you want to frustrate it. You lie against him that his products are not as substandard, that he's doing monopoly. Somebody who has invested everything he had on providing massive employment and then making the nation to go on, not depending upon other nations to even for refinery when we have the crude here. I know that God will vindicate him. Look, even if he has been corrupt before, this one, he has done what would have solved the problem, because those 4 refineries, not a curse. They will not work because of corruption. They won't. Now God is exposing those behind the problems. Who can come open and say monopoly? Who can say open these products are substandard? Thank God that this has effective defense for them. So now that we are seeing the wind has blown, we have seen the yash of the hen. Now, a few other things. He created the Ministry of Livestock. Ordinarily, that's part of the Ministry of Agric. At least to address the issue of insecurity. At least if those people are taking care, then I remember, I think I heard that he gave some money to the Minimieti Allah people just to make sure that there's peace. I know those who are used to their business will not want to. They will collect that money and still want to continue. I know that if the government is effective, eventually they will overcome them. Those who will go to your farm, ambush you, kill you. So, what would somebody have done that he has not done? And a number of other policies that are put in place now. And then we are looking for a quick fix. The quick fixes that we have been looking for since 1960. That we still not, until we change. Honestly speaking, let's start from population control. Have the number of children you can take care of. Don't depend on any other person. Growing up, I know what I faced in my family. I know the little I try to do to at least let my family breathe, because we're so poor. Everybody agonizing. What little can I do at least to that I wanted to do something? I was as poor, poorer than them all. But at this stage, I rejected it. I said I must fend for myself, and with God on my side, I was able to dissociate myself from that kind of life. I've tasted poverty, I've tasted comfort. I know one is better. Comfort is better, man. There's nothing as poor as when you depend on other people for everything. Even where they didn't sin, you will rope them into various sins. Can't imagine myself wanting to depend upon somebody. Depend upon. I'm not saying help. Help is okay. And then when you are even rising and you're trying to discover to help, you discover that the burdens upon you, you are poorer than them all. And even from among the people that you are trying to help, some will respond positively, some will not even respond at all. Yet he's coming to bring his burdens upon you later. If you don't bear the burden, it is a problem. I think, to me, we're just wasting our time until we all go back to the drawing board and begin to live a life of discipline, integrity, transparency, honesty, love. Stop stealing. Stop all this corruption. No government will be able to solve our problems for us. Everybody will mark their time and they will go. Life continues. It is we, the people, that will still solve it. It may sound crazy, but it is the truth. If you put your hope on Bola Ahmed Tinubu or on any other person, I've always told a story. One of my stepmothers in those days, during Shagari, she said she was waiting for Shagari's rise. Shagari came to power till she died at the age of close to 120 or a little above 120 years of age. Shagari rise never came. The world is becoming worse and worse every day because of our corruption. They give you a little position of trust, you betray it. You sit down and criticizing government. Okay. Now they said the federal government is said to be dispatching 20 trucks to every state in Nigeria of rice. We don't know where that one will end. At least we haven't seen the impact on the market. We have not seen the impact. We have not seen the impact. But if everybody does according to his ability, the dependency syndrome, okay, things are very expensive now. In my own little way, what has been my response? I reasoned that things like, I started by saying that a finger of pepper sold for 100 naira. What did I do? I bought a few, removed the seeds, dried them a bit, planted them. I ate the flesh. I planted the seed. Today, we are having pepper. I don't have to buy it. Okay, plantain, a bunch is costing between 10,000 and above. Good ones, oh. And you need plantain, especially unripe ones. What do I do? My God revealed to me in a dream, go and plant plantain. Shortly before the thing became so expensive like that. Go and plant plantain every 10 feet apart in your compound. I did. Since then, at least, I will harvest an average in a year of 2 bunches of plantain a month. Am I not eating plantain? If I want to depend on my pocket, upon my pocket or salary or pension to be buying those ones, then I looked at it. Meat is nothing to come by again in the market. Meat, whether white or red. I've been doing chicken farms or whatever, poultry, for upwards of since 2010. 14 years consistently every year. We've never lacked meat. It is expensive to rear them, but it is more expensive to buy the flesh. I made a pen. Just the number of chickens that we need. I rear them. Today, it costs an average of 10 to 12,000 naira to breed a broiler to maturity. An average of 8 to 12 weeks. What do? I buy a few and don't mind that price. Buy the feet, take good care of them, and we are eating meat. I'm not looking for the chicken in the market. I'm not looking for the cow meat in the market. I'm not even looking for the fish in the market. Once in a while, we buy the expensive fish and all that. Just once in a while, just to alternate. But it's not as if I don't have at all. Vegetables, the same thing. Is it Irish tomatoes? They call it that long one. I've been farming it for the past 3, 4, 5 years. Initially, I don't even know the best use of it, but until the normal tomatoes went bizarre, and then we started harvesting. Today, I plant them. Lemon. Lemon is a multidimensional medicine for health. Today, I grow not less than 7 or 10 trees of lemon in my compound. And it produces all the year round. Things like cough, catarrh, all these things, immunity problem. I use lime and lemon to solve them. Honey with lemon prevents cough, cures cough if you start using them early. Orogbo, bitter cola or something with honey. I made the juice of the lemon, preserve it in the fridge or just like that. When I need them, I use it. I don't sell them. I don't sell all these things that I'm selling. I want to eat coconut. I planted two trees. At the seduce season of coconut, I will eat coconut. Banana, I'll plant. I don't have to buy them. Even within a plot of land, just build nothing more than half of it. use the rest. You can still grow all these things. So, what are we talking about? It is you that will solve your problem. You will live an affluent life in the midst of famine if you are wise. I did a video on going for a home garden the other day. I look at the number of views. It is then I saw that human beings are not serious. They are not interested. How many people are watching? Go and check. Cultivate your own home garden or some. Just go to Yemi Amongwega and see. You will see the one I did on farming. 2 times I did it. Showing the examples of what I did, from vegetable to animal husbandry to all this in my own compound. I'm not talking about Tinubu. I'm not talking about prices there. Thank God rice is not good for me at my present age. I don't need to eat more. And thank God today I don't have plenty children that I'm taking care of. But just for me to live a worthy life, a comfortable life, not putting my body upon my children who are just trying to find their own feet. May God bless them. May God continue to make a way the way for them. Are we learning? Stop talking about Tinubu. Stop talking about any political party. Now, coming to, before I round up, there are so many things you can do for yourself. When times are hard like this, all you need to do is to think and initiate things that will help you to multiply your streams of income. I give an example earlier. If I can grow plantain to the point that I'm having 2 bunches a month, averagely, 2 bunches in a month, and every bunch sells for maybe 10,000 naira, to be modest. Number one, I did not suffer to get it. And God is so wonderful. I said He has given us everything we need to make our lives better. That same spot, those number of stems that I planted, let's say 10 of them, today they have multiplied several times fold. It may get to a point that I will be getting like 5, average of 5 a month. And what do? Just plant them. Then during dry season, wet them. In the wet rainy season, God will wet them for me. And I keep harvesting. A lot of things you can do for yourself. Stop blaming any government. If you want to wait, stop blaming any of your brothers or sisters you think are rich and are not helping you. You yourself start from nowhere. Call upon your God and then bend down and start using your brain. You can live a life of affluence in the midst of seeming poverty or famine in a nation. If everybody does this, you have a house and you cemented everywhere. You've cemented your life. You've cemented treasure. You've cemented what will make you to live a peaceful life. Bring yourself back to nature. If you cannot afford to buy feeds for your chicken, buy them and put them on the floor. And give them the remnants of whatever you have. And you will be eating your meat away. At the most, you will your family eat more than 5 chickens or even 6 in a month. Make sure there are chickens in your compound all the time. If you can afford to feed them, it will help you so that the chickens will not destroy other things that you plant, your vegetables, because they will eat your vegetables. These are the wisdom. That's why sometimes it is cheaper for you to look for money and buy 5 chickens every 2 months. You will not agonize for meat. A few other things like that, small things that you can do in your compound. instead of waiting for Tinubu. Okay, I said good protest, bad time. It is good that people protest for government to have a feel of what you are feeling, but don't think it will bring magical solution to you. We did it and we have answers. People lost their lives, unfortunately. Will we learn? When you are fighting government itself is not finding it easy. And you are now mounting another pressure. May you not be wasted away. May our children not be wasted away. In Yahushua's name. Very important. Let us think, brethren. Find solution to yourself. When I found that there was nobody to depend upon to send me to school, I labored with my hands. I prayed to God to bless the work of my hand. And I trained myself from primary 6 to until I became a degree holder. Work and pray. Today, my story changed for good. And then define the level of material wealth that you want. I don't aim to own the entire world because they are additional. But first of all, give us this day our daily bread. You can work on having your daily bread even within your compound. I'm telling you, you can. If you don't do more than yourself, you have a 3-bedroom flat and you have 5, 7 children. When will you be liberated? Even how many of those plantains will you plant that will sustain you? But if you are minimal in number, you'll be able to take care. So good intention. You can protest. It's good cafe for the government. But the timing is bad. There is no policy that Tinubu would have put in place within 1 year that would have yielded so much peace now, that will ameliorate the decades of decadence that our society has gone through. It is for us to look inward. Not until we start producing. Let's take the Dangote thing now. If Dangote is producing and we stop importing fuel, people will have employment here. Then you will not be queuing in the police station, in the filling station all the time. And then gradually things will return. Then if we're able to overcome the insecurity thing, and we won't go back to farm. People were not complaining before now because they were doing the little thing they can do and they are feeding themselves. Yoruba will say, when feeding gets out of your problem, all problems are almost solved. That's the truth. We are crying now because there is no food to eat again. That's the truth. So food for thought, brethren. And then my advice to the youth is, please don't go to the streets. Don't waste your life. And then to the government, they have the fundamental right to protest. If you say your child should not protest, one day may that child not kill you. Because if he cannot express his mind now, by the time he grows up, he might become a terrorist. So government should allow people to protest. They should only focus on safety and security aspect of it. Let it not be hijacked. But how do you guarantee that? The protesters cannot guarantee it because they don't know what will happen. They will say it's government, start trading blame later. They say it's government that is hijacking. And then the government will say unknown people are hijacking. And at the same time, you are having the opposition that are fanning the embers of discord because they just want the government down. Let Yoruba will say, ẹ jẹ́ kó rí wa ó pé. Let us be sensible for once. You can protest, just that the timing is wrong because the outcome of 1 year's planning, it takes so long to plan and to execute. Before the results comes out, may God help us. This is just my own little contribution to what is going on. The wise one will think inwardly. The foolish one will continue to expect government to be their savior. Christ, your labor, are your saviors. God bless you. Please share. Please share. Please, I will never allow my children to go and participate in this protest. I will never myself go and participate. Because to me, even though protest is okay, but am I reasonable? What have I contributed to the agony that I'm going through? I will ask myself. Let me solve that one inwardly first. It is in this nation. I lit candle. I lit the normal light lantern. I used the charcoal. I used everything before I could read. The power failure we're having now had been since my student days. But I found solution. That didn't prevent me from continuing with my studies. And God bless that work. And I give glory to Him today. I did not labor in vain. Please, it is time for you to continue to do your labor. Pray to God. Aim high, but don't be covetous. When you aim so high that you don't even know when to gather, how to gather, what to do with what you have, the blessings remain there today, if only you identify and tap into them. So God bless you. Bye for now. I'm yours, Pastor Yemi Omogboyega.